How's it going, YouTube and all the ISL fans out there? This is TopFire23 here, and I'm here bringing you the Week 5 of the Season 1 of the ISL. This matchup is between the Seattle Serperiors and Braden versus Oz and the Carolina Pansears, and I'm here with the coach of the Seattle Serperiors. Please introduce yourself.
Hey ISL fans, it's Braden Dobson here, coach of the Seattle Superiors,
Was it Dalai Lama? Like,
the
well,
Dobby Llama,
Dapi Lama,
if you
okay.
prefer that.
So let's go ahead and talk about your matchup. You brought a very interesting team to go against Oz's team. So go ahead and talk about what you brought.
This week I kind of brought a rain team, or let's just pseudo rain team. It was more so than anything else, just I had it there for the option if I wanted it. Rain was not necessary to actually beat Oz's team, and the reason I brought it was because his team doesn't take rain. And so I brought the range just in case I wanted to pull it out and use it on him, but I didn't use it too awful much.
Well, I
Uh,
see one mon that he brought sort of works fine in the rain, and that's Krogunk with the dry skin.
yeah, he did have that. I didn't take that into account too much, but I wasn't extremely worried about Krogunk because I have one, two, three mons that OHKO it from
Um,
almost any range, so I wasn't extremely worried about the Krogunk.
well, that's good. You, you, you had counters for it, so that's a good thing. Because if once sees the rain, he'll be like, "Oh, I can try to use this as my advantage with Krogunk," and then you can take care of it yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So looking at his
I'll,
team, sorry, I didn't let you finish. Go ahead and talk about the rest of your team that you brought.
um, as far as the rest of my team goes, I didn't make sets that were way out of the way this week. I went somewhat basic. The Kabutops was just Life Orb. He was meant to outspeed things and then put in work, basically, with Life Orb. Then I had my Uxie, which was to set up the Rain Dance and Stealth Rocks as well, but it could also do a little bit of damage if need be. But it was just basically there to take hits. Then I had my Kyurem Black, and this was one of my Scarf Mons. I had two Scarf Mons this week, and so it could OHKO Mega Pterodactyl if I actually had to, and outspeed just about everything else on his team besides it. Then I had Jolteon, which was also Choice Scarfed, and nothing crazy this week. No quick feet, just went with regular full Jolteon, and it had maxed out special attack. It was just supposed to hit anything that he wanted to switch in extremely hard.
Hmm.
Then I brought Mega Diancie this week, and I didn't do dual screens. I just put all attacking moves on it. And so this was kind of an iffy mon to bring just because he had two poison types and he brought both of them,
Hmm.
but I really wanted it this week, so I brought it. And lastly, I had my Escavalier, which was a pretty typical assault vest, and so of course it had to have all attacking moves.
I mean that was a nice bring Escavalier when you brought Deontay because with the poison typing you can just his main two Deontay's two of his biggest weaknesses are well one of the biggest weaknesses is like you said poison, so you can just switch into Escavalier. And if you wanted to use like a fire move from like Mew or Hydreigon, you can just switch into Deontay, who will eat that up just fine. So like there was a nice little like core there that they can cover each other's weaknesses very well.
Yeah, those are two mons that work really well together. And like I said, I had Uxie, for example, who could deal with the poison types relatively well, and
Hmm.
so I wasn't scared about bringing Mecha Diancie at all.
Yeah. All right. So looking at his team that he brought, what were you thinking about when you saw his team?
Well, the first thing I thought was I was just so relieved because I thought he was going to bring Galvantula and set up sticky webs just right away. And that would have been so bad because I didn't have much to counter that because Galvantula, if I tried to send in Mega Diancie um to just bounce them back, he can two hit KO me with Galvantula anyways. So Diancie wasn't really a good counter to Galvantula, I didn't really have anything.
Hmm.
And since I had two Scarvers on my team, sticky webs would just destroy me. And so I was so relieved when I didn't see the Galvantula.
I mean, yeah, I mean, Galvantula can put in plenty of work since you didn't really have a defogger user on your team, so you had really no way of getting rid of hazards on your side. So the sticky webs definitely would have came in clutch for him and really would have helped him out against your Scarfers and Kabutops and other things like that. So, is there anything else you want to say about his team before we move on to the battle?
Um, Not much besides Hydreigon just always scares me, and so I wasn't surprised when he brought that, and I was really scared. And also, there's always having Mew, and just the fact that it can be anything that he wants it to is always scary because you don't know what he's going to use it as this week.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So let's go ahead and get into the matchup. Uh, you start out with Jolteon while he started out with the Fortress, which is a common lead for him.
Hmm.
And I'm guessing that was Hidden Power Fire.
Yep, that's why I ran it on Jolteon, expecting Fortress, but
Well, I mean,
it didn't
it,
SoCo due to sturdy.
if it wasn't for Sturdy, he definitely would have coded, and that definitely helped out though. I mean, yeah, he was able to get Stealth Rocks up, but um, the Steel typing on Deontay being not being gone, that was really useful. So I guess he was
Oh yeah.
so he went for Earthquake on your Jolteon, and then was this a defensive Uxie?
Uh, yeah, I predicted the earthquake, but then I forgot that Aerodactyl had crunch on it, and so I had to make a quick play and switch out to Kabutops.
But I mean, it ate it up pretty damn well though.
Yeah, it did pretty well, and I wish that Stone Edge had hit because that was a two-hit KO.
On the
And
Vileplume.
yeah, because it was offensive Vileplume.
Ah, okay. So knockoffs, so
But
getting rid of the expert bell on Toxicroak can really help out there. Uh,
oh yeah, fighting type moves on Escavalier would have done so much damage with the expert belt, but
hmm
he took that pretty well.
Yeah. And so the drill run really helps you out there, and I guess he thought that he might be able to OHKO you or something, but you were able to take out Toxicroak and still had the good old Lancer still alive.
Yep, it's still kicking, but it's at such low HP
Yeah.
that
At that point, there
I
really was no
sacked it.
point of keeping it around. So here's when Jolteon being twist scarfed. I guess he didn't expect it to be twist scarfed. Uh, and you were able to take out the
I
Mega
guess
Aerodactyl
not.
just fine.
Yeah, no problem there. And I was Scarf, so I couldn't stay in on the Hydreigon, and
hmm
I had to switch to Diancie. Only thing I was scared of there was the possible Iron Tail or Flash Cannon.
Yeah, that would have
Didn't
sucked.
happen.
But I mean, you made a good prediction, double switching out into Uxie.
Yeah, I figured he was locked into Draco, and so I had to put a switch on something because he would try and get momentum by switching like a Vileplume into Diancie.
And that Vileplume ate up that Side Shock from the Uxie pretty well, but then you were able to bring in Kieran Black and just take it out with a nice beam, so that was very nice.
Hmm. And Ice Beam did pretty well against most of his mons. I was scared of Hydreigon outspeeding me there. It would have,
Yeah, so you were
and
able
so
to. He missed the Focus Blast, which was nice for you, so you were able to get some chip damage off on it, but then next turn he's able to hit the Focus Blast and take out the. Which I mean, I guess it was smart going for Focus Blast instead of Draco Meteor since you had that. And
mhm.
then you revealed the Signal Beam, which I was like, oh my god, Signal Beam. that
Yeah, I brought
was
it exactly for the Hydreigon,
What's
and
nice is
so
that it hits both the Hydreigon and the Mew, so that's definitely nice.
hmm and so
Um,
then it worked out because I got to get a nice hit on Mew, weaken it a little bit.
and then went for Superpower. I don't know what he was predicting. Maybe he was predicting the KMB to come in. Um,
Uh, I think he just wanted to get locked into a fighting type move because I'm assuming he got locked in.
yeah,
And
and then you were able to just outspeed with a KMB and get the Outrage off. So
mhm,
I mean, that was a very positive 2-0 victory for you. I think you just played around his team very well. You knew exactly what to bring in when like Escavalier was a perfect counter to Vileplume since Salt Vest you eat up any hits from it. You can stop it from being put to sleep since due to Overcoat. Um, and then knocking off the extra belt off the Toxic Croak really came. So came in clutch for you because then the Drain Punch would have done a lot more damage to Escavalier.
Oh
Uh,
yeah, Escavalier probably wouldn't have won that battle if I hadn't knocked off the expert belt.
hmm And then, I mean, that's the one problem that Mew has is that really the only good fighting type moves that does a lot of damage is Superpower. Close combat isn't a TM, so you can't learn close combat.
Hmm.
Because if you learn close combat, that would have been a lot better. And was he choice banded? Is that what he was, or choice scarfed? Do you know?
I'm not actually sure. I'm assuming scarfed, I think.
Because I know Mew isn't that fast. What's Kieran B's base speed? I think like I know it's above 100.
95.
It's only 95.
I'm pretty sure it's 95.
So if he brought a max speed, what did it need to be max speed? If he brought like a choice scarf and then made sure there's enough speed investment to outspeed, he could have possibly taken out the KMB. But at the range that Deontay was at, I don't think a close combat after a -2, I mean a superpower after a -2 would have been able to outcode Deontay. So I think you still would
Mhm.
have won that battle at that point. Since the
Yeah, I
fight.
think I had it.
So, I mean, I think you just played really well. Playing around his team was definitely a good thing on your part. You brought the right things, and you didn't really get a chance to use much of the rain. It didn't really benefit to your advantage too much. Um, you got it up, but you weren't really able to do a lot with the Kabutops, unfortunately.
Yeah, because the Vile Plume came in, and so I wasn't able to keep Kabutops in, unfortunately.
Like you said, if you were able to hit that Stone Edge and you said it would have been a 2 KO, that would probably would have been better for you. Because then you could have stayed in and hit another Stone Edge. But
Hmm.
it
But
it is what it is.
it's Stone Edge. It's not very high accuracy, so you
Yeah.
have to kind of expect some misses every now and then,
Oh,
for
trust me,
sure.
I understand that quite well. I understand the misses of Stone Edge,
Oh,
especially when it matters most. But
yeah, I feel you.
but I mean, you played really well. You sacked off the Mons when they needed to be sacked off, and not try to preserve anything too late in the game. You made reliable, safe switch-ins on certain things. So I think you played a better game this week. Oz didn't play horribly. He didn't like make any misplays or mispredictions or anything like that. It's just both played really well. It's just you came out on top. I think your team was just a little bit better this week.
Yeah, I don't know. Just I guess planning is a big part of it as well. Even if you don't make any misplays, then it
hmm
just comes down to the person that had better planning in the situation.
Yeah, I mean his team seemed like it could do a lot of work to your team. It's just unfortunately you just played a little better, and so you were able to counter the things that he was trying to go for. So,
It
but
happens.
yes, it does. But with that, I want to thank Braden for coming out for this episode, and we will see you all in the next video.